Hey everyone, so I recently played this roguelike deck building game, and after hours of playing it both with and without mods, I started to get a bit tired of it and started to play other games. Maybe I shouldn't have played that one. But after a bit, a friend messaged me out of nowhere, telling me to check out this new game called Monster Train. I was like, cool! Then I promptly forgot about it after about 15 minutes. Sorry. It wasn't until a few days later that I saw it on Steam like a magical angel to take my boredom away. Also, it was 50% off, and that's when I finally picked it up and promptly made it my pastime game for the next few weeks. And now I'm here to tell you what I learned and if you should take a look for yourself. After numerous runs, I got a good grasp of the game, knowing the playstyles I like and how to build them. With this knowledge, I determined what is good and bad about the game, and broke them down into 5 categories, which we will score and determine if this game is the next big deck building roguelike game. But first, what is Monster Train? Well, when I first opened up the game, I had no idea what it was about, but after a bit of time, I found out you play as a band of monsters from 2 different factions that are trying to escape a frozen hellscape. All you have is the center of your train to keep you warm as you brute force your way to freedom, and that's exactly what I tried to do. I started up my run equipped with only my cards and my prior knowledge of roguelikes, and I lost. But hey, that's just how roguelikes are. But with this, the start of the roguelike cycle started. My goal to finally reach the end of this game. But because of this, I saw a lot of what the game had to offer. Going through the game, I started to take more time looking at the designs and general look of the game, taking in every minimal detail to determine what this game was all about. The game has a clean art style and a vast array of very cool monsters to take as your champion. From merfolk creatures to shadow monsters, this game has a lot of very interesting designs, each with their own flavor that really shows what each faction is all about. On top of this, the game has very simple animations to display combat and other movement throughout the game. Nothing over the top, but very in line with the genre it's in, so we'll give it a 4. Sounds are integral for any game, and you just know when sound works, and this game is no exception. Every sound effect and track works well. All music is pretty calm, though with a little bit of epicness and urgency. It feels slow, but that makes sense since it's a strategy game, to think and process what's happening on screen so you don't make a mistake. But music isn't anything crazy, not anything I would go out of my way to listen to again outside of the game. A 3.5 from me. It's not until I unlocked a few factions that I started to fully get a grasp of the gameplay and replayability of the game. At the start of each turn, you get a certain amount of energy to play monsters and spells from your hand, as enemies board your train with one goal: to destroy it from the inside out. Equipped with your minions and spells, you must stop waves of enemies from getting to the top of your train, where your life source is, also known as your pyre. But along the way, you'll find different cards and encounters from shops, chests, energy pools, and even special events to become stronger. And with so much variations with the different factions and how they interact, there's a lot of versatility. Want to build a deck where all you do is spam spells? You can do that. You want to build a deck where all you do is give your minions hundreds of armor so they never die? That is also an option. But between all the different combinations, almost anything is possible. So there's no limit to what you can do. And that makes the game very easy to keep playing and to find the next ridiculous build you can form. Or challenge yourself with a lot of modifiers so you never get tired of it. Gameplay is a 3.5, replayability a 5. Like I just said, there's a lot of different modifiers to make the game much more difficult, but the base game isn't really that hard at all. It'll only take you a few runs to get to the end of the game if you have any roguelike experience. Though I will say the game gives a lot of different opportunities to make the game harder. From pre-game modifiers to in-game modifiers, you can choose to make encounters harder to get additional rewards. So the general challenge will be a 2.5, and for max modifiers, it could be a 4.5 if not a 5. So we covered a lot of ground in a short amount of time, but let's wrap things up. That's a 4 for graphics, a 3.5 for music and sound, a 3.5 for gameplay, a 2.5 or 4.5 for challenge, and a 5 for replayability. So that'll be an average 3.5 for Monster Train. A very solid game. But is it the next deck building roguelike? It's a good time waster, but I don't know if it can fully compare to some of the other deck building roguelike titles, especially for the price of $25. If you can find it on sale, I would say it's a good pickup, but other than that, I'd be weary. Also, if you want more roguelike fun and want something a bit more fast-paced, check out RoboQuest, an FPS roguelike on my right.